We'll see what ratio means, and then we'll start with liquidity ratios. So ratio analysis is basically going to help you evaluate company's financial condition. So when we talk about financial condition, we not only mean profitability, but also liquidity, that is the risk factor in meeting the payments. Okay, if the company will be having enough funds and cash to make payments. Okay, as well as how effectively and efficiently that the company is utilizing resources, that we are going to see using ratio analysis. Okay, so if you see, we have seen that ratio analysis is nothing but a process which helps you determine a numerical relationship between different components of balance sheet. Okay, so the relationship between different components, we are going to mention it in terms of numbers. Okay, so we can just see some examples as to how it is mentioned. Now you can see, since it's a numerical relationship, we can mention it in this way: 1:2, or half, or even same thing we can mention it in terms of percentage. 1:2 means half, it is almost right. So here it is shown as 50% if you want to showcase it in a percentage form. So when we say ratio, we mean proportion or a fraction. Okay, so it's a relative measure. It is not going to talk about the absolute amount. It is going to talk about the relationship between one component with the other. Now when we say that the salary of Anil to Shubham's salary is 1:2, we do not know exactly how much salary Anil is getting, and even we don't know how much salary Shubham is getting. But we know that Anil's salary is 1:2. Now, in that case, you can say Anil is getting half salary than the Shubham, or you can also say Shubham is getting the double salary than the Anil, right? This is how this proportion means, right? This can also be shown in decimal point like this: 50 divided by 100, so 0.50. So we can also say that is half, right? So this is what we have seen, how the ratios helps you evaluate the performance, evaluate profitability, compare the performance, then forecast and plan and identify some strengths and weaknesses of the company, so that you can take necessary remedial steps. And if you are a stakeholder, one of the stakeholders of the company, you can decide what is to be done in future, whether you want to continue your relations with the company or not, right? So what are the limitations? We have seen that different companies use different policies and practices, and that's how the components of balance sheet may change. Okay, then we have seen each company is different in terms of capital structure, in terms of investment, in terms of the nature of business, in terms of the nature of products it produces. Some businesses may be seasonal, some may be regular throughout the year, requirement may be there. So depending on different organization, you cannot, it is not that easy to compare, though we say comparison is possible with ratio, right? So liquidity and solvency ratios are going to help you evaluate the company's condition. And then you can see the reason why we don't only depend on this statements is they may be made or manipulated to some extent. So if you use different types of depreciation methods, then also your valuation of asset is going to change. If you use written down value method, less of depreciation you charge, the value of asset will seem to be more. If you use straight line method, then you can see the valuation of asset will seem to be less when actually it may be more, right? So which method you are using, how much rate of depreciation you are using, that is going to determine the value of an asset which is shown in the balance sheet. So if you change the method, then valuation will also change, and that is termed as a window dressing, making things look so good when they are not, right? That is what is called as a window dressing, right? So inflationary effect is not taken into account. So all the things are recorded at cost basis. So inflation because of inflation, it may have happened that some of the valuations may have changed, but that is not taken into account in this case. That is the reason that ratio analysis, though it is so much helpful, it has certain limitations. Now see the types of ratios that we are going to see. First, we are going to start with the liquidity ratios. Liquidity means availability of cash. So how much cash is available for making short-term payments? That is what this ratio will talk about. Solvency ratios will specifically talk about long-term solvency. How much is the assets? How much are the liabilities in long run? Profitability ratios will talk about the profits or the return that the company is generating, and turnover ratios will talk about the efficiency of operations. Now, to start with, now you can see what all these ratios are going to help you with. Liquidity ratios are going to help you check out if company is able to pay short-term obligations or short-term commitments of payment, certain short-term payments to be done. Now, suppose next 6-7 months may company is supposed to pay 2 lakh rupees. Now, if company has sufficient amount of asset to pay off this 2 lakh rupees, that is what is checked out with this ratio. So what we are doing, short-term obligation, means company is supposed to pay 2 lakhs within next 6-7 months. So that 2 lakh, if you will be able to get or not for making that payment, that we are talking about when we are talking about liquidity. So if you have current assets, receivables, which amounts to around 4 lakh, then it is very easy for you to make payment of 2 lakh, because you're going to receive 4 lakh, out of which you may pay 2 lakh rupees, and that's how you can settle the payment. Okay, so that is what liquidity ratio will talk as to how much you're going to receive and how much you're going to pay. So if you have sufficient amount of receivables for making payment, that is what is liquidity ratios. Here we have different ratios again, current ratio, quick ratio, and cash ratio. We will talk about it. So next set of ratios, solvency ratios, will help you compare debt and equity, means own funds and borrowed funds. So how much is the borrowed funds compared with the own funds that we talk about. Similar, now this ratio should be 2:1. This ratio also 2:1 maximum you can have. That talks about the risk, bearable risk we say. You cannot take more than 2, and if you take, then that firm become very risky to invest in for the investors. Now, when we talk about activity ratios, specifically, we are talking about how much assets that you have invested in, or how much investment that you have done in the different assets or different things, and how efficiently this investment is turning into the sales that we are going to talk when we are talking about turnover ratios. And in profitability ratios, we'll talk about the overall performance of a company. Now we'll see how to interpret the ratio. Okay, interpretation and analysis is quite different. We have already seen it. So when we talk about interpretation, we are specifically talking about whatever the calculation comes, how to understand that answer to interpret the situation of a company. How is the company's financial condition? If the calculation comes to suppose 3:1, how is the liquidity condition? So that is what you are trying to interpret when you are trying to make use of a means when you are trying to derive meaning out of the calculation which you have made or the answer which you have got. That is what is the interpretation. Now here you just try and understand. First we are going to start with the liquidity ratios. So liquidity ratios specifically talk about how much cash is available and how much receivables are there to make the payments. Now what we, when we say that there's something is so much liquid and something which is not liquid. Now suppose if I want to sell, suppose the ring, golden ring that I have, that is a bit liquid, I can easily go to the shop and I can sell and I can get cash. That is liquid, I can say. So whenever something is easily convertible into cash, we say that the thing is liquid. Now, suppose if I have water bottle and I want to sell it into the market, nobody is ready to purchase, right? It is less liquid. Though I have something which has some value, but it is not sellable or it is not realizable into the price. And suppose I have spent 30,000 and then I'm getting only 10,000. Then that is again, price valuation is quite different. Without affecting much of a price, when one thing is getting converted into cash, that is what we say liquidity is, right? So when we say liquid, that we talk about how easily it is convertible into cash, right? So when we say about liquidity, we are comparing current liabilities and current assets, and we are trying to find out how you will be able to meet these liabilities with the assets that you have. In short term, you have assets, current assets, receivables, and in short term, you have payments to be made. So you will be getting money from customers, you will be selling the closing stock, getting money from customers again. Then you may be having cash, you may be having bank balance, okay? You may be having any other income receivable, okay? Suppose I have given some money to someone else, advance या फिर loan करके दिया है, that is again a receivable in short term. All this is receivable, that is what is current assets we are talking about. All this if I receive, if I'll be able to pay off the liabilities or not. Now, all these are receivables, customers, and all that. Now, when I'm talking about liabilities, I'm talking about creditors. I have to make payment to suppliers. I have to pay salaries. I have to pay wages, which are outstanding. So all these payments, so overdraft I have taken, that I have to settle. So this is how we are just trying to find out whatever assets you have, whatever receivables you have, if you will be able to pay off the short-term liabilities with those receivables or not, right? So we are basically talking about when, as and when that payments become due, if you will be able to pay it off or not. If you fail to pay, then we say that company is facing liquidity problem. Company is not having enough cash or funds to make the payment of the short-term liabilities, right? So we talk about as and when you require money, if it is available or not for making payment. That is what is liquidity. So what we expect when it comes to liquidity, we expect that our current assets should be more, so that easily you'll be able to pay off the current liabilities. Now what specifically saying it should be more than one, okay? It should be more than one. But now see, in this current assets, you have stock and some other prepaid expenses and all, which is not actually the component in terms of cash आपको receive होगा, right? So in that case, what you need to do is you have to see to it कि instead of taking this as more than one, we, to be more sure, we want that current assets should be double than the current liabilities, right? So preferably it should be 2:1. When we say 2:1, we mean current assets should be double than the liabilities. Now, if I have to make payment of 1 lakh, I should have at least 2 lakh receivables. Why is it so? To be more safe. But suppose out of that 2 lakh, even if I don't receive 50,000, okay, I receive only 150, still I'll be able to pay off that 1 lakh. Okay, just apply it in your normal daily life and you can easily understand this ratio. Now, suppose I have some money receivable from two different people, which amounts to 1 lakh, okay, and I have to make payment to one person of 80,000. So I'll receive 1 lakh, I'll pay 80,000, that is okay. But now suppose out of that 1 lakh which is receivable, उसमें से जो 40,000 है, that is receivable from one person जिसने मुझे timely payment नहीं किया. So out of 1 lakh, I am receiving only 60,000. 40,000 I am not receiving now. Now, with that 60,000, how I am going to pay 80,000 now? With 1 lakh, I can pay 80,000. But if I don't receive the entire amount which is receivable, then I'll face the problem for making payment, right? And that is the reason why we, to be more sure, we want this ratios to be 2:1. Receivable should be double, payable should be, means जितना भी payable होगा उसके double आपके पास receivables होना चाहिए, so that you will not face any trouble at all, right? So now we'll see the formulas. If you remember, current ratio, current assets and current liability we are comparing. So current assets, since I have marked it in green because this is receivable or income for you, and payments red because it is going to go out, means outflow hai. So just we are comparing. This should be double than the liabilities. Now next thing, we'll try and simplify. Now what happens? Out of this current assets, not all the assets are easily convertible into cash. And that is the reason why this is current ratio, means current assets and current liabilities we are comparing. So you can easily remember the formula, current ratio. So current, all the things which are current in nature, current assets and current liabilities we are comparing, right? So now next is quick ratio. When we talk about quick ratio, we are talking about the assets which are fastly convertible into cash, which are easily convertible into cash. Now, out of all the assets, when we say liquid assets or quick assets, okay, so out of all the assets which you have in current asset, okay, I'll tell you just current assets में क्या क्या है. Cash, bank balance, bills receivable, stock, outstanding any other income, prepaid expenses, marketable securities, short-term loans and advances. Now, all these things we have in current assets, right? Now, out of all that, cash is already in cash form, bank balance is also in cash form or the other form, cash equivalent form. Bills receivable, आपके पास bills है, soon you are going to receive that amount. But now stock, this stock may include raw material, WIP, then finished goods. And that is the reason why getting converted this stock into the cash is not possible immediately. I'm talking about, right? So raw material, if it is there, then you will process it, then you will produce finished goods, then you will keep it in warehouse, then you will sell it, then debtors are created, and then they'll pay. So it will take more time. It will not be converted into cash immediately. Even if you have finished goods that also are kept in warehouse, we don't know kitna market mein demand aayega, kab wo supply hoga, and when you are going to receive that money from the customer. That's the reason why we are not going to consider this, will not be receiving this. So I'm going to minus this from this current assets mein se. I'm not going to consider stock when I'm talking about liquid assets. Okay, जो more liquid है I'm talking about. Outstanding income, since it is outstanding, you are going to receive it immediately, since you may have given some time to someone to pay. Prepaid expenses. Now tell me, prepaid expenses, is it a receivable? We are talking about all these things are receivables. Is it a receivable, prepaid expense? What is it?
No, ma'am. We paid in advance.
Yes, we paid in advance. Means what you are going to receive, not the money, but you are going to receive services for it. You have made some payment in advance for which you will receive service, not income. That is the reason why, though it is shown, why we are showing it here, because this expense doesn't belong to this year. So if this expense belongs to this year, where you could have shown it, profit and loss account debit side, since we have matching principle, if you remember, cost and revenue we are trying to match. तो ये expense है जो आपने next year के लिए किया है, not for this year. So that is the reason why we are showing it to the asset side. So next year you are going to charge this to the profit and loss account, because this expense you have done, but it belongs to next year, not to this year. That's the reason why we are showing it as a prepaid expense. So this is not a receivable. So this also we are not going to consider when we are talking about liquid assets. So prepaid expenses and the stock, these two things we are not going to consider when we are talking about liquid assets. Marketable securities. So you may be having some investment which you can easily convert into cash. Short-term loans and advances given to people, that is also receivable. So all the things are easily receivable except this one, stock and the prepaid expenses, because prepaid expenses not at all irreceivable, right? So 1 and 2 we are going to minus from the current assets. So just go back to the formula. So liquid assets upon liquid liability, जो immediately receivable है, that is only we are going to consider. So from all of these current assets, we are not going to consider stock and the prepaid expense. Then whatever is the amount receivable, that we are going to compare with the liquid liabilities or even current liabilities. Now, see, in different books you will see this particular ratio जो है उसका formula अलग अलग मिलेगा. Why is it so? Because in some of the books you will find liquid liabilities where they have minus bank overdraft and cash credit, okay, from the current liabilities. Immediate receivables, immediate payables. So out of all the current liabilities, bank overdraft and cash credit, no need to pay it immediately. You will get time for making payment. Okay, that is the reason why in some of the books they consider liquid liabilities, because immediate receivable, immediate payable. Now I'll ask you one thing. If I have to make payment to two people, A and B, okay, now A person is giving me more time for making payment. So what I'm going to do, whatever is receivable with me, I'm going to pay only to the B person. Does that mean I will not have to pay A? Though I'm getting some time, I have to pay that particular liability. Okay. So that is the reason why what we say, people who follow the practical approach, okay, the people who are following rational and systematic and scientific approach, they say that instead of liquid liabilities, we need to take all the current liabilities. Why is it so? Though these are not immediate payments, but for sure we have to make these payments today or tomorrow. That's the reason why we will not be only comparing the immediate receivables with immediate payables, but we'll be comparing immediate receivables with all the payables that you have. If you remember, we are following conservative, where when it comes to income, we provide less amount of income or reasonable amount of income. But when we provide for losses and expenses, we consider all the 100% possible and actual losses we provide for. Same thing is followed here. Now, if you write this formula, liquid assets upon liquid liabilities, overdraft is given in sum, then you can minus it. That is considered properly, right? Cash credit is not normally given, but if it is there, that is also minus, because in case of a cash credit and a bank overdraft facility, anyways, you will be paying interest on the amount which you have exceeded or the amount which you have taken as a loan from the bank. So in that case, get some time for making payment. That's the reason why from current liability it is minus. So you can see here prudent concept says you need to consider current liabilities and not the quick liabilities, since all the payments needs to be done today or tomorrow. Though you're getting time, but you have to pay it. So all the liabilities needs to be considered. This particular ratio, quick ratio, it measures the ability of a company to pay the liabilities immediately. Suppose if I have to settle all the liabilities immediately, how much cash, immediate cash I have, or cash and cash equivalents that I have. Okay, this is what the quick ratio is. When we talk about cash ratio or absolute liquidity ratio, we are only going to take cash and cash equivalents, means cash, bank balance, marketable securities, okay, and we are going to compare all of them with the liabilities. So if you remember, in the management accounting, this ratio should be 2:1. Quick ratio or liquid ratio should be at least 1:1, and this depends 0.5, even if it is, that is also fine. Now this is current assets, what it includes, and current liabilities, what it includes. We already know this. So creditors, accounts or bills payables, then outstanding expenses, short-term advances and provisions. Provisions means provision for tax, provision for dividend. So when we specifically talk about quick assets, we are talking about the assets which are fastly or easily convertible into the cash form. So bank overdraft, since there is no due date, you can make payment afterwards. Bank has given you facility. Kya hoga if you have taken bank overdraft for some time, that your bank balance will get negative, and that is the reason why this bank overdraft is not considered in the immediate liabilities. Same thing with the cash credit. If you make minimum payment, okay, you also get more time for making the entire payment. When we talk about current assets or current liabilities, we are talking about the assets and liabilities which keeps on changing. When we say fixed assets and fixed liabilities, they will not change. Whereas when we talk about current assets and current liabilities, that is going to change. And that is the reason why we are comparing them, right?